You've only gone and done it again, America. This story recently blew up over Japanese social media and then eventually leaked out into international social media, and now there are press articles from international newspapers discussing what happened over the last few days. 2 American influencers in Japan were arrested for jumping into a monkey enclosure. Not just any monkey enclosure, it was the viral Punch the Monkey enclosure based just outside of Tokyo. According to reports and video you can see right here, one of the men was dressed up in a weird, stupid blue outfit wearing some kind of dumb, feckless emoji style hat. The masked man climbed over the barrier, jumped into the monkey enclosure while the other man stood outside and filmed the entire thing. This freaked out everyone. Every single person and monkey was having some kind of full panic attack. The spectators were freaking out. The monkeys were really upset. Even now, people are worried if the monkeys are going to be able to recover from this sudden intrusion into their domain. But luckily, the staff rushed in really quickly to stop their idiots on their idiocy. Later, the police came in and arrested both men on forcibly obstruction of business, which is a real criminal offense. And if you've been following some of these Americans coming to the country, ruining the country for everyone else, you've probably heard this before. I'm pretty sure Johnny Somali got charged with a similar offense, making these 2 men in the exact same boat as one Johnny Somali, cabbage farmer extraordinaire. And if you don't know, Mr. Somali is currently in a Korean holding cell and will soon be having to do hard cabbage labor. Very excited for this. Because of this stunt, the zoo is also increasing the amount of security around the enclosure, meaning if you did want to come to the zoo and eventually see Punch the Monkey, you're gonna have to wait because there are currently massive barriers erected around the enclosure and no one can get close. If you are someone who goes out and touches grass, you're gonna be very confused on this situation. What is a Punch the Monkey and why are these boys trying to invade its privacy? Let's go back a little bit. Punch is or was a Japanese macaque? How do I pronounce that?
Macaque.
Living at Ichikawa City Zoo and Botanical Gardens near Tokyo. Sometime earlier this year, this monkey became internet famous because he was abandoned by his mother and they gave him an adorable monkey toy to cling onto while he got acclimatized to living with the other monkeys. There were like these really emotional, heartbreaking photos of like this tiny monkey clinging onto this fake mother because his actual mother abandoned him, and the internet collectively lost their shit. People were crying, people were visiting the zoo, people were giving donations to Ichikawa Zoo to get Punch a new mother. It became a massive thing seemingly overnight. It did become pretty big headlines both internationally and sort of in Japan. And it wasn't just a story of the monkey's really sad because his mother abandoned him and he looks really cute in these photos. I mean, that was part of it. That was part of the story, but it opened up this massive conversation about zoos in Japan and how well they look after their animals and sort of animal cafes in Japan and how well do they look after their animals. It did open this massive conversation between multiple sides of the internet. You have the Japan lovers, the animal lovers, the animal rights activists all coming together to discuss this monkey. And knowing how algorithms work, all discussion is good discussion, so this just kept getting pushed out over and over and over again. Back in the peak of its popularity, I wasn't really interested in the little monkey that lost his mother. I thought it was really sad. I thought the pictures were cute, but I never interacted with it in any way. But it was all over my feed every single time I opened up Twitter or Threads. It's absolutely insane. That just goes to show how popular it was. Even if you had no interest in it, it was going to be served up to you. But it was very much a feel-good story. Yes, Punch was abandoned by his mother, lost confidence, was clinging on to the zoo handlers, but eventually, slowly, he gained his confidence. You've seen out playing more. There's a whole like Reddit community dedicated to updates of Punch the Monkey and how he's doing at the zoo. It all turned out a-okay. A lot of people were very emotionally invested in this little monkey. They saw it going from this shy, timid monkey clinging on to a stuffed animal to now a little older, able to get around the enclosure a little bit better, playing around, hang out with the other monkeys, you know, casual monkey stuff. Doing his taxes, eating bananas, getting into goofy situations with other various characters from the same universe, you know? It became a feel-good story, but that is why this story with these stupid influencers blew up so damn quickly. These boys really put their foot into a very dangerous situation, and I don't think they understand how fucked they might be.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
As I mentioned before, one of these idiots dived into the monkey enclosure wearing a blue suit and a stupid emoji mask. This was all a stupid social media stunt for a cryptocurrency. That's right, these idiots endangered their lives, the lives of the monkeys, and also the lives of the people working at the zoo who have to dive into the enclosure to get them out for a stupid cryptocurrency. Apparently the outfit he was wearing was some kind of a mascot of the cryptocurrency. How he snuck that into the zoo, or I guess he just walked straight in with it, is beyond me. The monkeys immediately scattered around the enclosure, but the idiot in the mask decided he still had to finish his one stupid mission, which was to give a stupid cryptocurrency plushie toy to Punch the Monkey. I couldn't fathom doing something this ridiculous. The main character syndrome you have to put yourself in this situation it's beyond my wildest dreams. The question is, what did he think would happen? He's put himself in a lot of danger diving into this enclosure to give a plushie to the monkey. Did he think the monkey was just gonna go, oh yeah, sweet, yeah, I'll have that. Oh, new toy, yeah, I'll have that. The plushie they had given to Punch the Monkey wasn't just some random plushie. It wasn't a crypto coin mascot plushie. It was a plushie of a monkey from his species. There's got to be something in the water, or something in the schooling in America, where so many Americans travel internationally and believe themselves to be the main characters of the world, or at least the main characters of whatever story they're in. And it really shows on online interactions you're having, in a lot of these stories you're hearing about Americans coming to Japan and basically like ruining shit, or putting themselves into dumb situations, or diving headfirst into zoos. You realize that a lot of Americans are kind of broken. And I'm not trying to be rude to my American viewers. I love you guys. I know you guys aren't the one coming to Japan or other countries, diving into zoos, etching your names into bamboo forests and shrines. But whenever I hear of a story where something absolutely insane has happened, it's usually Americans. It's not always Americans, but it's somehow always Americans. Quick sidebar, because if you are American, I think you need to do just like a little bit of deprogramming. And I don't mean that in a rude way. I mean like shift your focus globally when it comes to your interactions both online and in person. A few months ago I was discussing how terrible the yen is currently, comparing it against the Great British Pound, me being from the UK. And I had so many Americans diving into my comments to tell me that I was wrong. That the currency that I was currently showing, well, I was lying. I was making it up, because they had checked the difference between the dollar and the yen this morning, and it was different. But nowhere had I mentioned the dollar. Nowhere in my post did I mention America. This had nothing to do with America, but Americans saw the number and just assumed that this was about them. And that's what I mean. Little things like, oh, the weather's going to be whatever degrees Celsius, and Americans jump in with, that's not that cold. We're talking in Celsius, not Fahrenheit. And it happens all the time online and in person. And it must be something to do with like the schooling or like how people are brought up in America. But a lot of them truly, really do believe they are the main characters of the world. It's kind of insane. The shitty cryptocurrency these two idiots were promoting did come out of a statement on Twitter. The statement reads, "We are aware of the stunt that took place early this morning when one of our members entered the Punch enclosure at Ichikawa Zoo in Tokyo dressed in a mascot costume and carrying a teddy bear version of himself being the shitty mascot. First and foremost, we are endlessly grateful for the cult we have built together and for the community that continues pushing boundaries and creating standalone virality out of thin air." This wasn't out of thin air. This is very important to say. This wasn't out of thin air. This wasn't standalone virality. Even though this coin is trying to distance themselves from what happened, they are very much happy for all the advertising they're getting. Even I was kind of worried about making this type of video. I didn't want to seem to be promoting the coin or promoting like these idiots. So I'm going to say right here and right now, block these idiots. The second I'm done reading this, the second I'm done taking screenshots for my video and recording some screen captures for the video, I'm blocking them. I'm blocking them and I'm never thinking about them again. Because when it comes to brands like this, when it comes to coins, the best thing you can do is forget they exist and eventually they'll die out. Also, this isn't much of an apology. The rest of this statement from "You Are Built Different" onwards is basically just them promoting the coin. This isn't an apology. They are advertising their coin. They want this to get out there. They're talking about Season 1 Create to Earn campaign. This is meant to be an apology tweet. Why are you discussing your second phase campaigns and shit? absolutely fucking disgusting behavior. They continue to say that they've looked at the footage from various angles and no monkeys were touched or harmed, blah blah blah. That is them just trying to push the blame further away from them to try to mitigate damages a little bit, but the final line of their statement is basically that: to the team at Ichikawa Zoo, please check your DMs, would like to donate 1 million yen to improving the monkey enclosure and supporting the incredible work that you do caring for these monkeys. But then the statement ends by these idiots saying, we hope you're as hyped for season 1 as we are. These people absolutely suck. There is not an apology in here. They're offering a pittance of 1 million yen at a time when the yen is kind of dog shit. This is horrible. Just horrendous. And it's very clear this company did have a hand in creating this moment, and they're currently scapegoating these two influencers to take the blame. If you scroll down to their previous tweet, it shows, look at that. The mascot in Tokyo, in Shibuya Crossing, walking around taking photos with the locals. Almost like the company shipped the mascot over with the influencers in order to promote their stupid coin. I don't know about me, I don't know about you, but if someone I didn't know did something that I didn't support on a brand that I owned, I would take all the time and power necessary to distance myself from these people, which would mean not retweeting every single story and every single post about the incident, because that's what they're doing. Every post, every story, every stupid interaction about this incident has been retweeted. All the articles, good or bad, are being posted to their timeline. For these stupid coins, it does seem that all publicity is good publicity. But in this situation, I want the community to prove them wrong. Block them, ignore them. If you are a meme coin investor, don't invest in this coin. Invest in a different meme coin. There are a billion meme coins that you can invest in. Choose a different one. They're all basically rug pulls anyway, so what does it matter? You're losing your money either way. You can't even use the excuse that these boys were young and stupid and just sort of got caught up in the motion and ended up doing something ridiculous, because this was clearly planned, and also, these are grown men. Janai Dyson is a 24-year-old university student, and his accomplice Neil Jabari Dune, 27 years old, identifies himself as a singer. This boy about to be singing in prison. This boy better learn some Japanese enka for that lockup he's about to get hit with. And it does appear that the younger of the two, Dyson, was the one who climbed into the monkey enclosure, with the 27-year-old standing on the sidelines filming the interaction. Luckily, this story does have the happiest of endings. The police arrested them on site. 24-year-old Dyson basically said, it was just a prank, bro, with the 27-year-old claiming he had done nothing wrong and he was just outside filming. No, sir, I have a new word for you, accomplice. Write it down, learn it. It's a great word. You can be hearing it a lot during a trial. The zoo is sadly having to take drastic action to reinforce the monkey enclosure. I doubt something like this is going to happen again, but it's Japan. Now something like this has happened, there's going to be an abundance of caution going forward. So Ichikawa Zoo is going to be a worse place for everyone to visit for the foreseeable future because of these two dinguses. Thanks a lot. We hate you. These guys need to be punished severely. I mean severely. If anyone in the Japanese media or Japanese courts are listening to this video, if there's some judge that just really likes my content, come here. Go over here. Bury them under the library. Build a new, bigger library and bury them under it. Make an example of these idiots. Japan does this thing a lot. When Americans fuck up in Japan, they don't get the book thrown at them. They get a little slap on the wrist. They get a little monetary fine, couple $100, couple $1,000, maybe a month or two in prison, and then they get put on the merry way back to America. And they're told, you can't come back to Japan for about 6 months. And that's it. That's all they get. That is a light punishment. That is so light. Take Johnny Somali. Came to Japan a little while ago and caused nothing but chaos. And I mean untold chaos. No one likes this guy. He was throwing food around, being a nuisance, blocking businesses, and when he finally got caught, when the Japanese police finally gathered enough evidence to arrest this man, what did? They locked him up for about 6 months, gave him a little fine, kicked him out, and said don't come back. That's it. Did he learn any lessons for his time being locked up in Japan? No, not a single lesson. He went right back to streaming. He went right back to streaming. He learned nothing. The system didn't punish him. The system didn't rehabilitate him. So what was the point? You just let him go. Now he's in Korea. Korea are dealing with him. Korea have him locked up for 6 months, and he might even be locked up for 3 years. And that's after months and months and months of making him wait for his trial. There was another streamer with him at the time when he was messing around in Korea. That guy fled and is pretty quiet now. I don't think that guy's gonna be back in Korea being a nuisance, because he knows the punishment of being caught in Korea messing around is severe. People saw Johnny Somali and other nuisance streamers come to Japan, fuck around, and they never found out. Japan, you found 2 more people fucking around. It's time to make them find out. No more of this, lose punishment, little slap on the wrist, get out of here, back to America, ooh, little fine, $3,000. No, and this may be punitive, this may be a little bit too harsh, but listen, fuck them up. Find the max fine, times it by 2, then times that by 2 again, and then give them 1 each. Lock them up in Japanese prison for a year. You can deport them afterwards. I'm fine with that, but for the time being, lock them the fuck up. Lock them the fuck up. If you don't make an example of these people when they are in the country messing around, people are going to continuously come back and do the exact same thing. Japan, you need to be harsher on these people. Socially, this incident has come at the worst time for Japan, and quietly I have been praying that something like this doesn't happen for at least the next 5 years. But here we are, my prayers unanswered, my faith constantly shaken. There are already growing tensions online from the international community, those living, working, paying taxes in Japan, Japanese netizens, and Japanese people just living and working in Japan. Why am I separating Japanese netizens from Japanese people living and working in Japan? Because they are a different species entirely. Very important to say. I did say in the video here that Japan is currently dealing with over-tourism in certain areas. That is still the case for prefectures that are being affected by over-tourism, but the Japanese government do want more internationals to come to the country between now and 2030. So right now it is pretty crowded, and people are getting kind of sick of seeing foreign faces wherever they go. Fucking rude to say, a little bit fucked up, but then you see stories like this and you're like, I kind of get it. And it's not just foreign faces being in locations, it's what they do when they're there. Overcrowding at shrines is annoying, but it's perfectly fine until someone starts carving their name into the sacred torii gates. People blocking the streets for TikTok videos and selfies, big old suitcases in the middle of Shibuya crossing, climbing into restricted areas, harassing the geisha, and the list just keeps growing and growing and growing. So when international tourists or influencers come to Japan, break rules, act a fool, who pays for it in the long run? That's right, the international residents. We are the ones who end up facing the backlash for your actions. The problem is there's no separation between tourist, influencer, and foreign resident living in Japan who's paying taxes. They don't know. At first glance, they just see foreign face and assume, oh, foreign face bad? Because thing I saw on the news 3 days ago? Gotcha. Foreign face bad. So because of this, foreign residents are constantly playing a game of catch up. We're starting every social interaction at -3 charisma points. We gotta work our way up back to 0. And it's exhausting. We just want to be there at base 0 every time. And it wasn't always this way. 10 years ago when I was in Japan, you go to certain areas and there was a twinge of like, man, too many internationals here. But generally, you're perfectly okay. You could start any social interaction at least +4 charisma. But recently, there's been more of these Meiwaku streamers and Meiwaku tourists coming to Japan, committing crimes, committing faux pas, recording themselves doing it, and then putting them online for all to see, which is damaging the reputation of all foreigners in Japan, both those who live here and those who don't. And I have to be so clear, the majority of people visiting Japan, you guys aren't doing this. You guys aren't doing this. You're not diving into enclosures, you're not carving your name onto shrines, you're not committing blatant crimes in Japan and pickpocketing and doing theft and messing around. You're just here to visit Japan. You're gonna eat some onigiri. You're gonna see a temple or two. Maybe you'll see a show, you know? That's the Japan you've come to see. And we know there's nothing you can do about it. It's all on the individuals who committed the crimes. And that's why it must be really frustrating, not only for the foreign residents living in Japan who have to face the backlash, but also the tourists who just want to come to Japan and have a good time. And they're being grouped in with these weirdos who come here to fuck around. And in this situation, honestly, I'm not sure what we can do. Apart from throwing the book at these 2 individuals, I don't see a way we're going to stop this from happening again. What do you think? How do we stop international influencers and tourists coming to Japan and just blatantly committing crimes and destroying the sacred wa of Japan? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear what you think about it. But guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you there. Like, subscribe, stay hydrated, especially if you're in Japan. We've got that big El Nino coming in. It's gonna cook us. This room is already 1,000 degrees. And if you do have some more time, check out this video right here. It's about coffee crimes that happened in Japan. I think the connection works pretty well. But guys, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.